Most people gain weight during the hardest years of their life. I lost 75 pounds and kept it off, even through the most brutal years of surgical training. Your habits decide your future health. Every bite, every skipped step, every night of lost sleep is a deposit or a withdrawal from your health bank account. Today, I'm giving you the exact principles I use to lose the weight permanently, proven by science and broken into actions you can use immediately. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. This is education and not medical advice. Always check with your own doctor before making any changes. Let's get into it. Alcohol is toxic and a group 1 carcinogen, right alongside tobacco and asbestos. Your liver treats it as so poisonous, it halts fat burning until every drop is processed. While it's clearing alcohol, every other calorie you eat gets directly stored as fat. It wrecks sleep, lowers testosterone, raises cortisol, and slows recovery and productivity for days. It's the only drug used to both celebrate and to numb the pain. And marketing sells it as cool and tough. It's time to take off the rose-colored glasses. If you do drink, try to keep it for special occasions, limit it, and cut it out hours before bed. And when sleep, hormones, and recovery are in sync, your body is far more equipped to handle the next silent threat. The fat that most people never see, but that quietly destroys health from the inside. Visceral fat is the most dangerous fat in your body. This wraps around your organs like bubble wrap. It leaks inflammatory chemicals into your blood all day. It drives heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and even cancer. Here's a red flag sign. If your waist is more than about half your height, you might be packing this deadly fat. Check out my full video here on attacking visceral fat. But in a nutshell, eat protein-anchored meals composed of single-ingredient whole foods, shoot for 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day or more, and get quality sleep. Because even if your diet and training are perfect, poor sleep can undo much of that progress. It throws your hunger hormones out of balance, makes you store more fat, and it drains the energy you need to stick with your habits. Sleep is the foundation of fat loss, muscle growth, recovery, and self-control. Without it, even the best diet and training plan can't work at full potential. One bad week drops your brain glucose metabolism by 6%, making you slower, hungrier, and less disciplined. Poor sleep also raises ghrelin, the hormone that tells you to eat, and lowers leptin, the hormone that tells you to stop eating, and spikes cravings for high-calorie foods. Aim for 7 to 9 hours in a cool, dark, quiet room. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Keep the temperature around 65 to 68 degrees and stop caffeine after noon. Think of sleep as your nightly maintenance window. When your brain clears your waste, your body repairs tissue, and your hormones reset for the next day. Sleep sets the stage, but here's why this matters now. When health becomes the problem, it becomes your world. In residency, I rounded on patients who lost everything overnight. Careers, independence, even speech, from strokes, heart failure, and uncontrolled diabetes. They weren't thinking about the guy who cut them off on their commute or getting the work project done on time. All they could think about was their health. A lot of them are once too busy to take care of themselves. But once health is gone, it's 10 times harder to get it back. So focus on cardio, focus on lifting, eating healthy foods, adopting healthy coping mechanisms. These are low cost today, but high dividend tomorrow. That's why we start with simple wins you can do today, like a short walk after dinner. Walking after meals is one of the easiest ways to blunt fat gain. 10 minutes of walking after a meal can lower your blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. Think of it like taking the trash out before it piles up, clearing glucose before it even gets to turn to fat. Try it out after dinner. You might feel like you have more energy, better digestion, or even better sleep. I do my best to just get as much walking in as possible throughout the day, and even while getting work done with a treadmill desk. And while walking keeps you moving, muscle is what keeps you capable. Muscle is your body's retirement account. After 30, you lose 3 to 8% of your muscle per decade, unless you lift heavy things. That's why older adults fall, fracture, and lose independence. Lifting at least 2 times a week is enough to slow or even stop muscle loss. Focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, presses, and pulls. Check out my beginner A to Z weightlifting guide here for a full breakdown. And to make every lift pay off, you need this on your plate every day. You already know what it is: protein. Protein protects muscle and supports fat loss. A good place to start is about 1 gram of protein per pound of your target body weight if you're a healthy adult. It boosts the fullness hormones, slows digestion, and speeds up recovery. It can even increase your body's own natural GLP-1 production. I build every meal beginning first with protein in mind, whether that be eggs for breakfast or chicken or fish for lunch or some other lean meat for dinner. But what you cut out matters too. And one food category that sabotages fat loss the most is ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to keep you eating. In an NIH study, people ate 500 more calories a day on them, even when the macros matched the whole food diet group. At the end of 2 weeks, the ultra-processed food group gained 2 pounds, and the whole foods group lost 2 pounds. Now, if you can't cut it out entirely, just start with trying to swap one processed snack for protein or produce daily. That's thousands of calories saved each month. By the same token, stop drinking soda. This is huge. Cutting out 2 full-calorie large Cokes daily equates to almost 60 pounds of fat loss in just 1 year. And if you want to feel fuller on fewer calories, fiber is your ally. Fiber fuels your gut microbiome. It slows digestion and blunts glucose spikes and keeps you full. And it may even raise your body's baseline natural GLP-1, the same hormone that Ozempic targets. High fiber foods lower the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Aim for 25 to 38 grams daily. Try to fill about half your plate with vegetables or fruit. Choose whole grains over refined grains. If you have to eat white rice, I love my white rice, try increasing the resistant starch by cooling them first. If you don't know what I mean by this, check out my video on GLP-1 foods here. But none of this works if you can't stay consistent, which is where this rule comes in. James Clear's don't miss twice rule. Miss one workout? Fine. Eat off plan? Fine. But miss twice in a row, and that could be the start of a new bad habit. Now, this doesn't mean skip rest when you're sick or traveling. Of course, if you need a break, by all means take it. It can be healthy. But it means don't let laziness erode your discipline. And when life gets busy, fall back on this next tool so you never get stuck in the what should I do today mode. Default meals and workouts removes decision fatigue. Back in my internal medicine days, we'd round on 20 to 30 patients every morning. By the end of it, everyone's pace slowed, not from physical exhaustion, but from decision fatigue. Too many choices drain your mental sharpness. When your brain is tired, you're far more likely to go off plan. Try and anticipate hurdles. For example, if you know there'll be donuts at work on Friday, bring a snack you actually want to eat. Here's another hypothetical. You get home from work, exhausted. You can either head back out, go grocery shop, cook, and eat maybe 2 hours later, or you can order in some Panda Express, which can show up in 20 minutes. What's the easy choice? But what if you had meal prep ready to go in the fridge? Something you could heat up in the next 5 minutes? Then that changes things, right? No thinking, no negotiating, just doing. And when you do them as the kind of person you want to be. Identity-based habits stick because you act in line with who you believe you are. When your systems turn into habits, they become part of your identity. If you ballpark your calories, hit your protein, and train on a schedule, you're not just trying to lose weight, you're becoming the kind of person who values health and fitness. It doesn't matter if you're overweight right now, but if health is part of your identity, your habits will keep pulling you towards your goals. Shape your environment so that the health choice is automatic. Every rep, every walk, every protein-first meal is a vote for that identity. And the more votes you cast, the stronger it becomes. But even with a strong identity, moments of stress can test every system you built. This is an important one. Don't numb discomfort. Work through it. When stress hits, it's tempting to reach for alcohol, nicotine, food, or scrolling. These give temporary relief, but the problem and the cravings always come back. The real win is choosing an outlet that actually moves you forward. You have to find positive outlets for your stress and anxiety. My favorite outlets are meditation, journaling, physical activity like walking or lifting weights. Every time you choose an action over just numbing your anxieties, you reinforce your identity as someone who faces problems. And one of the best tools I found is from the book, Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. I'll link it in the description below. But he talks about the distinction between thoughts and thinking. A thought pops in your mind. It's not you, it's not automatically true, it's just a passing event. Thinking is when you grab that thought, ruminate on it, and build a whole story around it. That's where the spiral begins. The root of a lot of our anxiety and fear is in thinking. You could choose to acknowledge a thought without adding more thinking. Sometimes a thought brings some emotion as well. You can notice where you feel that in your body, whether that be in your chest, your gut, your throat. You can observe the thought and that feeling with curiosity instead of judgment, and let it sit there. Breathe through it, watch it. It'll rise, it'll peak, it'll pass. This is a more healthy, efficient way for your mind and your body to process uncomfortable emotions rather than turning to drugs and alcohol. And when you stack these tools on top of your identity-based habits, your environment can do half the work for you. Changing your environment makes the healthy choice the easy choice. Cookies in a clear jar on the counter, that's gonna be your diet. Fruit in a bowl, that's gonna be your diet. Modify your environment to set you up for success instead of failure. Keeping healthy foods visible and removing temptation goes a long way. But if you exercise, sitting too much can actually undo your progress. Prolonged sitting, more than about 8 hours a day, actually raises death risk, even if you exercise. So give this a shot. Stand or walk for 2 minutes every 30 to 60 minutes. Take calls on the move. Target a step count, at least 8,000 steps a day. Mine's actually 10 to 15,000 steps a day. My favorite way to get steps in if I can't get outside is my treadmill desk. I can script, I can write videos, I can watch surgery videos, I can edit them, all while getting my steps in and movement in. And when you move, make some of that movement heavy. Bone density, just like muscle, peaks in your early 30s. Then it declines every year without training. Hip fractures in older adults actually carry up to a 30% one-year mortality rate. Not from the break itself, but from the loss of independence and muscle. The fix starts now. Squats, deadlifts, bench press. These heavy lifts stimulate bone growth and protect your skeleton for decades. And resistance training that builds bone also strengthens your heart. Which brings me to cardio. Cardio you enjoy is cardio you'll keep doing. Adherence is 60% higher when you choose something you like. Basketball, hiking, swimming, cycling, tennis, pickleball. Mix in zone 2 cardio, about 65 to 70% of your max heart rate for about 90 to 150 minutes a week. This can cut your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and early death. You can mix in some HIIT as well, but about 80% of my cardio is low intensity steady state cardio or zone 2 cardio. It may seem hard at first, but stick with it. I went from sitting on the couch to running the LA Marathon in just 3 months with zone 2 training. And even the best workout starts with what you do before the first rep. Training mobility and balance protects your joints and cuts injury risk, and it'll keep you capable into your later years. Both decline fast after your 30s if you don't train them, and research shows that poor balance more than doubles the fall risk in older adults. I hit both on lower body days with pistol squat progressions. They open up the hips, they challenge ankle mobility, and train balance all at once. The movements you keep today are the movements you'll still have decades from now. Mobility and balance are insurance for your body. Screening is the other half of that insurance. Pay small now, avoid the big bill later. Screen early. Timing changes everything. Stage 1 colon cancer survival is over 90%, but stage 4 is under 15%. The difference is early detection. Get screenings on a schedule. Get a colonoscopy at 45 or sooner with family history. Add an ApoB to your lipid panel, which is more accurate than just good or bad cholesterol. Check blood pressure, hemoglobin A1C, vitamin D, and iron. I'll flash a current, more comprehensive list on screen. These numbers are your dashboard. When something drifts, you can adjust before it becomes irreversible. Next, measure what you manage. Weigh yourself daily. It helps keep fat gain in check and fat loss on track. Measure your waist weekly. Aim for a waist to height ratio under 0.5 to flag visceral fat risk early. Screen on schedule, like what we just covered, and try to get labs twice a year. They reveal issues before symptoms appear. Awareness gives you control. And when you want to level up, look at who you spend time with. Your circle sets your ceiling. You're about 57% more likely to gain weight if your close friends do too. And the reverse is true as well. Surround yourself with people who train, learn, and live how you want to live. And when making difficult decisions, borrow wisdom from someone who's already lived your future, yourself. Next time you face a big choice, moving for a job, ending a relationship, or even the small choices that shape your health, ask your 80-year-old self. Picture them, the lines on their face, the way they move, the sound of their voice. They've lived your life. They know which choices mattered most. Before you skip the gym, stay up later, grab the easy meal, pause, and ask, will they thank me for this? That pause can save weeks of progress, and their wisdom can guide both the daily decisions and the life-changing ones. Small actions stack into a body and life you're proud of. Pick one action today, walk after dinner, start lifting weights, maybe give meal prep a shot. And if you want to learn how I use AI to plan meal prep and accelerate fat loss, check out this video here. Peace.